to the teammates.
I wanna hear your go, go, go. I wanna see you falling fast. Win the round. Win the game.
Pretty much. They play, you win.
And welcome back to the European Development Championship, powered by Gaming Multi, a home of gaming excellence. We're into our final match of the day, our first best of 3 of the entire season, which will decide who is moving out of Group A completely undefeated and into the playoff stage at this early stage of the tournament as well, Dwayne. We couldn't have expected to see these two teams here, or at least one of them, at the very least, in the Young Ninjas side. Nemiga absolutely dominating TPT in our last best of 1 of the day, and of course, the Young Ninjas pulling off the upset against Saw, looking to make a surprise run through the tournament here. I have to say, Nemiga coming into this one, definitely the favourites overall, Dwayne.
No doubt about it. I think a lot of people expected Saw and Nemiga to meet in this position, but look, that's not the case at all. Young Ninjas had the upset to go into the upper bracket best of 3, the qualification match, to get the first team into the playoffs. And look, I think in a best of 3 context, Young Ninjas can hold a pretty good contest. We've seen in the best of 3s that they've played, yeah, maybe they're not too successful when it comes to victories, but they do often take quite a lot of maps away from some pretty decent opposition. But I think this is their biggest challenge. Saw was probably one of the strongest teams they've ever played on HLTV. This is probably close to them as well.
Yeah, I'd say so. You know, like it's very curious how similar parallel the performances from the Nemiga and the Saw side have really come down the years. You know, as you mentioned, sort of the main representatives for their respective teams, their respective regions, and now, you know, I was hoping that we get to see which of the regions was the better one, if you will, in this particular matchup. But we won't get to see that. Maybe tomorrow if the Nemiga get upset today. But for the most part, I'd say they are the favourites in this best of 3 context. Young Ninjas, they can pull off an upset in a best of 1. I don't think a best of 3 is going to be quite as easy, and you can see what those maps are at this moment. Inferno, Nuke, and Mirage. The odds favour Nemiga. I wanted to ask you about this veto, Dwayne. How do you think it's gone for the Ninjas? How do you think it's gone for Nemiga? You know, the first map pick is the Ninjas side, and, you know, we saw them do a decent job on Inferno a little bit earlier today. Do you think they can replicate results?
I think so. I'm actually very pleased that both best of 1s that we've already seen are now coming through into the veto again for the respective map picks. Inferno coming off straight away, picked by the Young Ninja squad. Then we've got Nuke. And then Mirage out as the third map. And look, Mirage is a bit of an interesting one because it's probably one of Nemiga's weaker maps. They don't play it very often. When they do, their results haven't been that fantastic on it. So I think we're in a similar position. I mean, we've said it for the best of 1s that probably each respective team have been quite happy with how the vetoes have panned out. I think that both teams will be relatively happy with how all 3 of these maps have panned out.
Yeah, I'd say so. We've got some very strong picks in this one, and we will tread some familiar ground, as I mentioned before. As you obviously mentioned, Inferno, the pick of the Ninja side, played in the first best of 1 between them and Saw, and Nuke, the pick of Nemiga, played between them and TPT a moment ago. Mirage is where things will get a bit interesting, I think, and overall, I do think that the veto is going to get won out by Nemiga, or at least, you know, the series will get won out by Nemiga. Mirage is a bit of a contentious one because it's one of those maps that doesn't have a great win rate, but it is also one of those maps they play against top teams like Gambit and G2, and you know, those big sort of like DreamHack events is where they'll tend to lose it, you know.
Well, that's another complexion that sort of gets thrown into the mix, is that, yeah, maybe their win percentage isn't that high, but when you look at the teams that they're facing, you go, geez, this should be a breeze. And look, that's kind of the attitude I think we had in the opening best of 1 for Saw and Young Ninjas. It should be a breeze. Yeah, maybe that second best of 1 was sort of that kind of style for Nemiga, but going into this best of 3, Nemiga should have the opportunity of pouncing at this. This is such a great draw for them to get their progression forward, to get into the playoffs, because this is the first time we've seen either of these two teams in the EDC before. We saw in Season 1, but we haven't seen either of these teams in Season 1.
Yeah, Nemiga definitely, you know, again, to talk about their sort of performance and where they've been at in World Counter-Strike, they've competed at a higher level than a lot of the teams in EDC.
Yeah.
And so, like, coming down to EDC, I guess you could say it's, like, you know, going to be a bit of a breath of fresh air. It might be nice to see them, you know, sort of win again, you know, to sort of, like, bolster their confidence going forward in other tournaments. I don't know how much of a focus they're going to put behind the EDC overall, but we'll find out as we get to our best of 3. And again, they are still favorites on the basis of who they are and how they're able to play Counter-Strike. On the CT start, Ninjas for the map pick, therefore they get to T side. And they have got the raid boss in on Man and limited utility for Alex. And the double flash and defuse for Box over on the CT setup. It's going to be banana control coming in initially, but mostly spread out for the defaults here.
Lollipop just jiggle peeking down from mid. Hasn't really seen any contact or any information. A couple of players towards the broken wall position for the CT side, out towards the sandbags, bait and switch set up, and the flash comes through for Jaya to find that first pick. Great start. Another flashbang comes through. They're so blind, and Speedak follows up with a couple of kills. Oh, what a start for Nemiga and Young Ninjas. Well, they're just down to a couple of players.
Perfect flicks to the heads, nice and easy for Nemiga. The Ninjas out of the apartments and into the short control. As Fozzie goes down, Nilo's left alone, desperately struggling to get that kill. MDS jumping to throw his accuracy off, and he gets a couple of headshots in his own right. The bomb's not with him, so he's got to win every single one of these 1v1s. And he's got himself a 3K as a result. Glock back out, looking back in, seeing the next player as Speedak. Got to look towards the apartments as well, where the next player of Joe's coming in from and at point blank. Nilo gets the shock of his life as Nemiga will be able to secure the pistol. Very accurate shots coming in from both the Banana players and from Nilo on the side. You can watch them once again to see how well this round played out for both teams.
No, that was superb. At least the start was for Nemiga. And look, one thing, I mean, we've casted Nemiga a lot over the years, right? And one thing they've always been known for is just so hungry. And I thought the way they played that 5v1 was just so reckless. They're able to convert the pistol rounds in their favor, but it should have been so much more convincing after that start. A couple of great flashes towards that banana position. And Young Ninjas, they don't even want to deagle this round out, not even want to go for the force buy. They've got one deagle in play, but it's mainly Glocks.
Spam through the smoke, allowing Joe to get the opening kill on Manning. As you mentioned, no force buy. They want to go with the straight eco round for the most part. I don't think they dropped an upgrade pistol on the part of Manning either, so it's just this deal win. Nilo next to full, nice and easy. Lollipop moving up with the SMG. MDS going to get his kill in the apartments. Last two players held out towards the Mexico and ramp positions. Zapek, well, not much you can do from here. It was a pretty standard eco cleanup from the Nemiga. 2-0 to the start. And the Young Ninjas back up for the buy. AK's out very early for this team.
Yeah, get those rifles forward. No Galils coming through for the T side, so it will mean that we're not going to see full utility sets, at least for the majority of the players. I wonder if Nemiga go for a bit of an aggressive play, considering that they've still got 3 of those MP9s in action. And play up towards a banana position, smoke down towards a broken wall to maybe get a little bit of aggression coming through towards banana. Nice and fast out for Lollipop 21k, but the AK finds that first pick, not before the trade comes back, however.
So a lot of aggression from the Young Ninjas out towards banana over their CT side. Nemiga trying to replicate and do some damage with it. Got good with that first frag, but the trades are good, and now Young Ninjas in at a 4v4 with a lot more damage done towards Box here. He's the player worse for wear. Joe is tagged as well, so Ninjas overall gaining a pretty significant HP advantage, and they are scrambled. A very awkward rotation for Nemiga. I don't know what's going on there. It seems like the A players just swapped with the B players.
Yeah, I have not seen that before. The entire B defense swaps with the entire A defense. That was very intriguing. So that does mean the high HP players are going to be over to B. Unfortunately, it does look as if Young Ninjas are leaning into an A play. And really, you want the high HP players in towards where the action is. And smoke down towards that long position. Manon smoking off for Moto. And 45 seconds left on the clock. Young Ninjas, where are they going to go from here? Surely it's got to be into A.
I mean, it has to be at this stage. They'll flash up and I'll try to confirm their prejudices. But Box and Joe with a task and a half. 3 HP and 27 HP respectively. Turn away from the flash up. SMG does get away with 1 kill, but the quick cleanups from the AKs going to leave the save call for Nemiga. Have no choice in the matter. Best to hold on to the head. Kevlar, the Fama in the case of Speedak. They can get a bite together in the next round as long as they hold together these weapons. They can also grab an AK as well, so that's even better for the CT side.
I really have the feeling that if they maybe rotated one of the weaker players over to A and had like one weak player at A and one weak player at B, probably would have worked out a little bit better with the crossfires, but it was a little bit more of a gamble, a little bit more of a high-risk play for Nemiga to rotate 2 over towards B that were on 100 HP. They do pick up an AK, so they do get something away from it, but a 1,400 loss bonus, they'll be able to buy back. I wonder whether they go for an AWP, though. I mean, Jayo's got the opportunity of buying down onto one, get a glass cannon out. And one thing to kind of mold over Jay, I think, for the next sort of few rounds, while we get a moment here to have a look at the odds from Paramatch.com. Heavy favourites up for the map winner of Nemiga on Young Ninja's map pick, which is a little bit surprising. But do please make sure to get your bonus for the first deposit. Click on the banner below to get the information. Is that Fozzy, the AWP for Young Ninjas, really popped up in that opening best of one, where Speedak on the AWP in their best of one didn't really do a lot.
I mean, again, Speed Up wasn't really needed because it was the rifles that were really going. And it's going to be Sapek, the first to fall for the Ninjas side as he just aggresses and faces further forward. And Box just going to grab that AK off the back of that opening kill. I mean, a lot of aggression from Ninjas that doesn't really go anywhere. 2 more players up towards this broken wall. I think one might boost on top of the other, but just forced away by utility here. Very well played from Nemiga in towards that banana position as they just fall right back and force Ninjas to think about a rotation.
A good start again out for Nemiga. Contesting this banana control. I mean, Box might even get flashed in from his teammate Jayo to go for a bit of an aggressive peek, and that's exactly what happens. Turns with the flash. It is going to be Fozzy, though, to find the 4 and 4. So an over-aggressive play from Nemiga doesn't quite work out, and now we're back to evens.
Box to fall. Eventually, they do vacate the banana position on the Ninjas' side. Jayo held towards the cross angle, ready for contact. He's just going to go passive, and I think wait for the retake, which is a good call, I think, because the 3-man stack towards the A bomb site may prove positive for the CT cap. They've got the incendiary down for MDS Fam at the ready. Alex gets that kill, Lollipop and Nilo trading, and the drive-by works wonders, leaving it all to Joe at a 1 versus 3. And while I did say that the 3 players on the A site would work wonders for the defense, but alas, Ninjas forcing the issue, well held from them.
Just some really great engagements out towards A site. Good wide swing comes out from Nilo to find a couple of kills. I'm a little bit surprised how aggressive Jayo is to trying to look for a bit of an exit frag. I mean, just falling back and play passive on B is probably his best bet. Make sure that they hold that M4 in play. Now, they probably won't force here. I mean, I've always got to consider it's a CIS team, right? You would expect them not to force, but you just never know sometimes with these teams. They're so random. What do you reckon, Jay?
I'm trying to think about it. It's like...
I really hope they don't force, but...
I mean, but that's the thing. It's a CIS team, though. And,
yeah,
well, that's the thing, right? That was the prevailing attitude. M4's out. SMG's a 5-7 for Speedak.
They better make it work.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, it's CIS, so anything can happen on a full play. So, yeah, they better make it work to try and keep the economy game together, but at the same time, it's like, well, Ninjas have the AKs out to work with, so... Sapek to drop the 66 very early on, so a decent start for Nemiga, but no kills in the early round here. It's just passive control. Finally, Joe just forced one out. Sapek is close, though, and he gets both the players on the CT side. That's a quick hit. They can gain B site access and get the bomb plant. Yeah,
this round's over. They've got to save towards a short position. There's no way in. B-site's already been taken. A couple of great kills. Like, Jayo got boosted up towards the broken wall to find that first pick, and it looked decent. And then all of a sudden, Sapek just gets aggro to deal with both of them. And he was certainly a player that did a lot of heavy lifting when it came to the opening advantages and the opening kills on the T side in that opening best of one. And you could just see what he does right there. And Nemiga do not have options to go in for this retake, so their best bet is just hold on to the weapons. Now, really, they probably can force again, right? Because the loss bonus is starting to get a little bit stronger, and with 3 players in, I actually wouldn't be surprised if they force another time.
It's questionable, though, for Nemiga to force twice in a row.
The thing is, you just keep forcing. Like, you think that you're like trying to chase your losses, and sometimes it works, but if you keep chasing your losses, you just keep losing rounds and you lose momentum. So it's one of those difficult ones to weigh up. I mean, I was watching Forza a couple of days ago where they forced like 5 times in a row. And it is expected for some of these CIS teams. Like,
that is just typical of Forza. Like, just so typical.
Well, they're coming in Group D, I think, in a few days' time.
That is true. That is true. They would be taking on the North team if they hadn't just disbanded today, so, you know. AK set, M4s, 5.7s, the Eagles. For now, Nemiga will be back to a half buy. So no forced investment from the CT camp for a second round in a row, which I can respect it. I mean, look, the money line's in a real good spot here. Like, if they just take it on the chin, like, they've still got a lot of firepower considering the money that they have. So, you know, for them, it's like, okay, well, we can work with the next round buy. If we get anything in this round as a bonus, if not, that's cool as well.
Going in for a bit of a lean now towards a B site. That one M4 of Lollipop 21k being boosted up towards a new box position. Young Ninjas are running out their default, quite widespread. Just leaving Manon towards the top of Banana while they might try and take some contact towards the apartments and brackets position. And for Nemiga, I'll be interested to see where some of these re-smokes go down. You've got Lollipop 21k and Speedak with a little bit of utility in terms of smokes. Maybe try and slow the play down. And Bomb leaning in towards the Banana position, looking like it's going to be a bit of a B play into the stack of the City side.
Flashes in to allow one player out to the long control on the T side. 39 seconds, Sapek. Try and lead the charge in towards the B play, and it looks like it will be a B commitment from the Young Ninja side. 30 seconds to go, and the fourth player going to make his way up. Molotov towards Dark, smoke to Cross, none to Coffins, and there's Lollipop with a spray down. Gets 2 kills as they line up and peek together for it. Finally, Nilo finds a trade, but it's still 2 players on the side. Bomb being dropped as Nilo goes down. It's all left to Fozzy. Here trying to see if he can pick up control. He goes down to Joe, and Alex, the stand-in, to stand up for his team, spraying wildly, desperate to get killed, switching out to the Glock as well. Somehow gets boxed, but he doesn't have enough time for the plant. It's on a 3-second marker, and Speedak can just swing, take the kill, grab the AK, and grab the round for Nemiga.
And I love how they've forced twice in a row, and then it's the Eco that's actually the one that converts. And that's going to do a lot of damage to the reserve money line for Young Ninjas. They'll be able to get a buy back into round 7, get AKs up for everybody, but there's a chance that they can get reset. 1900 loss bonus is not a lot. And Nemiga just win a round out of nowhere. And it started with that one player, the M4 Lollipop towards Nubox, doing so much damage. And the stack coming through. Speedak going quite aggressive with the AWP. Could be on for an opening pick, but no, doesn't quite come through.
Nade onto Cross, avoided by Joe. Swing and hit, perfect flash in from Manon, but he only goes so far as to get a single kill out of it. 4-on-4, I should say, being gained here by both squads. Now he's back to respond here. Manon's still pressing up quite far forward, and Joe eventually punishes him for his over-aggression, so that's a kill to be found. And the amount of vibes tip into the favor of Nemiga.
Yeah, they just kept fighting there. I mean, normally you just see the CTs falling back and just giving up the top banana control, but instead they just knew that if they keep wide swinging, they probably find the advantage. AWP now drops that bomb, 4-on-2 position. Nilo and Alex really need to try and bring this back, but how do they even do so? They've got to somehow find an advantage, some sort of pick. They've got to work off each other's contact, and they're coming in from 2 very different angles.
Pin out to the apartments. There's MDS with a kill on Nilo. Alex dealt with immediately by Speedak. Nice and easy. Decimation coming in. And a tactical timeout called in for the Young Ninjas here. We're very liberal with their usage of it in the best of 1, so happy to see that they're being just as liberal with it here. Right moment to take a tactical timeout as well, because Nemiga currently, they're being tested and they're being stressed, so Ninjas have a chance to, you know, maintain control and get us back to, you know, an even standing, potentially even take the lead.
You've got to think here for Nemiga, it kind of rides for their momentum if they can take this map, because if they do, I think it's going to be over pretty quickly. But while we've got a little bit of a moment, check out our partner, hellcase.com, and use some promo codes to save more and grab what you deserve. And certainly some very nice cases up on offer from all different price ranges to get some really cool skins and build up your inventory. The Young Ninjas, though, not quite going in for the force buy after taking the tactical pause. It's going to be a pretty heavy sort of, not quite a half buy, but more sort of an eco.
Held into the banana position. Young Ninjas are forcing the CTs out of the way. They are very quick about this execution. Flash over, M4 bursting through. Can't quite find the kill. The nade might be able to do some extra damage. Double nades in, but bo3 to take one from beyond the grave. And Joe at Coffins will hold his own, get himself some tidy frags. And a 3-on-2 gain. A wraparound from Alex going to leave Fozzy all alone. So this Deagle has got to do it all. And Lollipop shuts him down with his back turned towards the CT4. So it's 1-on-3 now for Alex. P250 in tow. AWP has seen him. He's got time to work with, but just not enough firepower. And he goes down to the 5th to the board of Nemiga Gaming.
And look, on those sort of like pistol rounds, we actually saw Young Ninjas rushing the sword lineup a couple of times and be very successful. Great protocol. They're coming out for Nemiga. They didn't get caught off. A lot of counter utility comes through. Jo holds a really strong defensive from that Coffin's position. 13 and 4. He's putting up some big numbers for the Belarusian team. And hyper aggression down mid. Look at this play.
Nilo getting the worst of it. Box taking him down towards the second mid position, dropping easy as that. Secondary kill coming in from AWP of Manin over on the other side of the map. Joe's focused here towards the banana control. It's a dry face in for Fozzy, which he can win out. But now quick rotations in from the CT side. I think they will get caught blinded by those flashes posted over. The bomb can make its way to the site for a plant, but 4 versus 3, it's a man advantage for the retake.
Now, things are looking pretty good here for the CTs, but they're just pushing through with the AWP. What is Speedak doing? So over-aggressive. And now we go back to a 3v3. Spam does come through the smoke from the CTs, though, to give them the advantage back. Alex going to be able to at least deal with one in the post plant. Numbers going back and forward between the two sides.
Got no grenades. They can't take out Sapek. Alex waiting back on the coffin, ready to crossfire alongside his man. Box detects it, takes the kill. Alex with a spray, makes it a double, and wins out the round for his team. 1v2 for a 3k clutch, and the Young Ninjas keep us within 1.
That's poorly played from the Nemiga. They start off the round beautifully. They get a couple of opening kills, aggressing down from second mid. Having a look at those odds from Paramatch, though, even with the scoreline at just a 1-round differential, they are still your heavy favourites at 1.38. So get your bonus for the first deposit, click on the banner below. But I was a little bit surprised, Jay, how aggressive Jo was playing that after they had a couple of man advantages, and then Speedax just pushing through a smoke.
Spray through, Alex getting Lollipop again to open things up for the T side. Taps through towards banana control, and it seems to be hit and miss towards mid and second mid for the Young Ninjas side. Banana control conceded. The CTs do back off. They have lost the man advantage this time, though. So Young Ninjas going to work off the back of the default, continuing to press up towards banana. AWP is Speedak forced even further back as he has no info on where the T's are striking. He suspects there might be some presence in apartments.
A decent start from Young Ninjas. Opening kill and a lot of damage done onto Box, but they have taken a fair bit in response on Sapik and Alex. And look, the standing's been super impressive today, not only in that best of 1, but also in that last round for the clutch of a 1v2. Stepping in for their in-game leader, who is playing with the main team, both yesterday and today. Aggressive play with the AWP out towards a quad position, good shot back, and he even gets back towards the site and is able to escape.
Quite a better angle to work with on the A defensive, but they have conceded long control, which is where Alex is playing from. This AK being very quiet about his own here, putting the smokes down to try sell him on an A play as the wraparound comes in towards B site. It's going to be a B split. Will Joe recognize this? Will he think that there might be a CT player? He might hear the footsteps from here. I think he might know.
Yeah.
Swing on Alex, 34 HP. He evades it and gets the kill with Sapek to follow suit on Box. 4 versus 2 for the Young Ninjas as they clean house against Nemiga and continue to keep pace. 5-all now. They've finally equalized against the Belarusians.
Wow. Okay, that was pretty explosive, pretty exciting. One of the first times I've actually seen some sort of wraparound play, and it's Alex going through Speedway. Now, footsteps get heard, and you think that this should be a pretty easy duel for Jo. Alex is relatively low, and no, the AK wins out the fight, and then we see Sepik getting involved too with the entry towards the B site itself. Speedak and MDS have got no option but to save. A couple of rounds in a row now for the Young Ninjas. Tie up the scoreline at 5-5. This has been quite the contest between the two teams so far in the first map of this best of 3.
Yeah, a good reason why I guess you could say those odds were so close and why they were slightly favourite to Nemiga because, well, I mean, this is the Ninjas map pick, which is a slightly encouraging and disappointing sign, obviously, with their map pick not going so confidently for them. But against a team like Nemiga, for them to hold their own, like, this is a really good showing from this team. You know, like, the Saw result could have been written off as a best of 1, so anything can happen. But, like, in a best of 3 context, like, this could really, really bolster them going forward. Falling back out towards this banana position. It's Manem with that kill on Joe. Opening things up for the Ninjas this time. Very broken setup on the CT side, so they only use a pistol. But that AWP falling for speed, that could be a bit of a problem.
Now, the one thing that surprised me the most about the young Ninjas is how confident they are with some of these duels. I would have thought against teams like Nemiga and Saw that they would have sort of played with like a respectful style, but they're actually playing with no respect. They're playing with a lot of confidence. They're playing their own game. Flash out towards the B side. Box doesn't quite see anything, but he sees the utility coming forward.
Body block on that smoke. MDS ready for the face in. Completely dry. Gets only 1. 5-7 a Box can drop that bomb though. 55 seconds. He's to be left as the lone defender of the site. Still gets a kill on Sapek. How has he done that? Fozzy doing damage further face in. The AWP does drop, and the bomb can't get picked up, but Box repositioning. They think he's still there at Coffee, and he wins the fight on 11 HP. The B-side defender boxes them in, and that's Nemiga stealing one from Ninjas.
You know, CIS Counter-Strike just annoys me. It just confuses me. Like, you've just got so many players pushing through smoke. So Box pushes through a smoke with a 5-7, gets a kill, falls back, and then Lollipop 21K says, oh, you know what, I actually want to do the same, and then Box is working on the edge of the smoke. Wild, wild stuff out for Nemiga. To think that a 5-7 won in a 1v1 fight up against an AK. What a start, and what an even better return on round 12 opening pickup for the AWP.
Box following suit on Fozzy out towards the banana position. 1 HP for Box. The CTs have been getting away with some really, really low score lines, or HP lines, I should say. Staying alive so far in this map up, in this round for Box especially. Smoke set at the ready for Box to try and counteract them as they make their way onto the B execution. At least that's what it seems like. Hearing footsteps, puts that smoke up, not wasting any time, just going to try and suppress and stall for time.
Yeah, it was a nice find with the AWP of Spedek getting aggro, because he's gone for that peak a few times and hasn't quite been given the opportunity to take a AWP pick. Down to just 3 players on this T side, though. I mean, is B the best option? I mean, you've got a low HP Box. There's even a rotation coming through from Lollipop, though, so there's going to be 3 players at B.
Ooh, footsteps heard, I believe, from the Speedway position. That shoulder back in DC Joe? I don't think he did, no. Box will be the main concern here. SMG, close range of 1 point of health. If he gets away with even a dink or a tag, like, that would already be impressive. Flash turned away from here, come the T side, and he lines up another kill. How is Box getting away with doing so much damage with so little to work with? 1 player back at Dark, not checked. Joe denies the bomb plant, 12 seconds for Nilo to recover it. And Lollipop there to clean house, clean up that last round, 7-5 for Nemiga. And again, I just got to give praise to Box, man. I don't know how he's able to do so much with his very limited sort of circumstances.
Yeah, the in-game leader of Nemiga really putting in some hard yards, right? I mean, you talk about the damage that he could potentially do. A dink, a little bit of tag would be great on 1 HP, and he even delivers onto a kill. The young Ninjas have not been able to get a hold of the economy situation, so they're going to have to be on another Glock round, and not a lot of upgrades in. A flash out only tells me that it might be an apps pop. Try and see if they can waterfall out and get a bomb plant. Oh, that nade!
Well placed from Nemiga. Don't know how much info they've got on the young Ninjas, but either way, they've done a ton of damage, which might hurt things going forward into the hit. An eco round, so should expect to get cleaned up here. Lollipop gets that 1 kill. Speedak will trade together. MDS will get taken out, and Lollipop also falls to the overwhelming numbers of the T side. That bomb denied there. Speedak with the USP, looking for a quadra kill, and no, it's Joe. They're coming in from the short position to close out the last player, but even so, still nicely cleaned up. And again, shouldn't be expecting too many losses from the Nemiga side. 8-5. They've won the half. They continue
Oh.
to win the odds battle. I am shocked that it's that
Yeah.
one-sided, to be honest.
Map winner. Like, it's only 3 rounds the difference. I mean, you know, maybe put a little bit on Young Ninjas at 7-1. That wouldn't be a bad shout, actually.
Well, here they are aggressing further forward, but Nemiga, on the contrary, have found their way into a very good rhythm at this stage. Good shot in to open up on the spray through. Speed Act there to close out a frag over towards the apartments. MDS has seen one towards short. He's going to get back up from both sides of the site. Lollipop in, sees Manning. I think he may have seen the second player. Fozzie will get the trade, pick up that bomb once again. But that's a 3-for-1 in favor to the CT side.
They're just not getting the same freedom they did against Saw. They're not getting these really crazy opening advantages. Alex, 1v4. They know where he is from the molly. And they're already starting to aggress down towards the bottom of Banana. Alex does find one. May on B for a little bit more, but no, the AWP shuts it down. Speedak's really starting to, you know, come alive. We saw him, what, get 6 kills or something in that first map, and now he's at 14 and 3. Just, it's such a night and day performance from how he was, what, 20, 30 minutes ago?
And the Ninjas down to the last round of the half, going to suffer to the hands of Nemiga, it seems. Maybe those odds of power match were a bit more justified than we expected, because we could be looking at a 10-5 half, especially with this buy being the way it is. 2 MAC-10s, a Deagle, 2 Galils as well. Not even an AK to work with here on the T side. Money is crippled, and well, they have got a defined default set in. I think probably it's just going to be a simple apps pop and a split in towards the A side. Smoke's coming down immediately, AWP in. Oh, what a quick scope from Speedak. It is traded very quickly. Box is still on site though. M4 holding, Lollipop there to back him up. There's 3 CTs here towards the site itself. 1 player on a backstab as well. They will get MDS to drop. There's still 2 more to deal with. Fozzie goes falling, and so does Alex. Last player left is Sapek, low HP. Box will burn quite a lot, but USP will close out the job. 10-5 to close out the CT half for Nemiga, and that is a very good half on their opponent's map pick.
Look at the kill distribution. Yeah, maybe MDS you can float aside, but between Speedak and Lollipop 21k, it's so close between one another from Nemiga. What a beautiful first half. They ended off with a really nice streak towards the end. They're able to get to double digits and putting a lot of pressure on the Young Ninjas. And I think we've got to pick up our app, Jay. It seems like Paramatch odds are all over us. We might be out of a job soon enough.
Pistol setups from Nemiga. The defuse kit in for Alex over on the CT side, and very similar default actually to the first pistol round when Young Ninjas were on the T side half. A little bit of banana control, 2 players up in the apartments. A little more aggressive this time from the Nemiga camp though, so that's a small sign of the CIS nature. And so far the peeks in towards the banana control have been fruitless. They're playing very carefully not to give up any info to the CT side, but Joe will force the issue, give up some info, but take a kill back, almost getting a second, losing a lot of HP, but starting things off well for the Ts.
Both players there in the engagement struggled to actually win out the fight, but it's still a man advantage for the Ts. And it's going to be a pretty heavy lean out towards A, meaning that Alex is the only defender over at B. Ooh, Fozzie getting aggro in the apartments, catches off Lollipop 21k, unsuspecting aggression.
The kill found nice and easy.
Oh, they're going B.
There they are. And Alex is the only one to defend against it. He's going passive at the coffin's contact. He needs some backup to come
rotates,
quickly.
they know.
And they are rotating, yeah. 2 players on the way. First responder will be Manning. And Nemiga have slowed things down as the pushers come through towards mid. Look at Fozzie. You can see out the back before they even execute to this. They should know what's going on from here. Smoke down, and Manning with an execution shot takes out MDS. Nilo boosted up to Flower Pot as Fozzie continues to backstab, and they spam through the smokes, doing damage. Nilo will fall. Alex on the back of the site. They haven't checked this. Joe back turn. So speed. That's 2 kills. And Box with 10 seconds to clutch it together. He took down a backstab player, but now needs to get the 2 players on the site itself. They got that bomb. Oh, that's a shot. 4 seconds. Sees Alex. Needs to fake the face real quick. Oh, and it's going to go the way of the Ninjas. Box in a panic, almost got it together, but too little, too late.
Whoa, what a read from Young Ninjas. That's too slow for Nemiga. They end up backing off in the apartments and brackets control, lean over towards Banana, and as soon as they peek out from mid and they don't see anything, everyone starts to rotate over to B. Back up Alex in time and even at the backstab in from Banana. Great read out for Young Ninjas, just converting the pistol. Force-Fire coming out for the T side, and there's a lot of SMGs here for the CTs, and it's Box to strike with the first.
But once again, Nemiga getting off on the right foot here, trying to see if they can shut down Ninjas before they can do anything massive. Nyla with the SMG next up towards Boiler, trying to sneak in behind the Nemiga side. Flashes in for the apps pop. There's a Fama boost up top of the balconies. MDS has seen him. He's got backup all around him. Needs someone to get that kill down. Indeed, Fox will get Nyla as Fozzy will fall. And Nemiga, 3 kills coming in untraded. And Ninjas shut out of the A sites.
They're just everywhere. They are literally everywhere on this T side. Just when you think a backstab can come through to deny that bomb and just drop it, then there's a player coming in from the window position. Young Ninjas, do they go for it? Do they save? They kind of have to save, but at the same point, they're going to be able to force buy back. And there's even a backstab coming in from Box. He could cut off the rotations and make sure no one stays alive.
Simply back to the tree, burst through, Box comes up with that frag. Taps up, can't quite find the kill. Sapek moving in, spray through, gets the next kill back to return. To hold on to the rifle, keep something in play for the Ninja side, but pistol won by the CTs, conversion stolen by Nemiga. And that means $1,400 to play with for most players on the CT side. This is going to be a force by a double eco to come through. So they're getting that from Arsene. Does give a bit of bonus firepower, but Nemiga are going to be on a much better stance.
Yeah, they really are. And for Young Ninjas, what's the change up here? Stack over towards B, bring 3 players over. I would say aggression, but sometimes aggression doesn't quite work out with Deagles. It works more better if you've got SMGs, and well, they don't have any of them. Double nades up towards Banana. Look how quickly Nemiga take this Banana control.
Spam through on the Deagle, Martin flashed out, blinded, turned around. His teammate's going to back him up though.
What?
Continuing that spam against Box. Box still gets away with the kill. MDS following the trade of Sapek and get 2 for 1 for Nemiga. Bites up here is Fozzy into the second box position. Smokes will go down towards Cross and Coffins. And it's all left for the T side here. Flashes evaded. Shots missed out again. The first shot accuracy from these Deagles in this round has been poor from the CT side. And a 2v4 favourite to Nemiga. Nyla will try to see if he can sneak his way in, but I doubt he'll be able to do much here. This should be a 12th for the T side.
Young Ninja's struggling, Jay, and well, player has disconnected, so hopefully we'll get him back in server and get ready to go. MBS might be on for a little bit more money. No, the Deagle's actually able to find another kill. So just looking for exits here. I mean, I'm a little bit surprised they're looking for exits. They really need to at least try and save onto what they have, considering that was a force buy. 12 up for Nemiga. Now, this has to be a harsh eco for Young Ninjas. And there's so many parallels to the Nemiga TPT best of 1. They're up 12-6. They're running out of options here, Young Ninjas. They're probably not going to be able to convert round 19. So you're looking at 13 on the board for the Belarusians. I don't know how many options are left here for the Swedes because they're running out of them so quickly.
And again, to contrast to the best of 1, you know, who came in with more momentum? Was it the Young Ninjas who scraped by in overtime, or was it Nemiga that 16-9'd their way out of the nuke map? And this is Ninja's map pick, by the way. Again, they won against Saw on Inferno. Like that's a pretty impressive result. Again, best of 1, caveats apply, but that's still very impressive when you consider, you know, that it's Saw.
For sure. Yeah.
And the Ninjas unable to replicate those same results here on this map up. We could be looking down the barrel of a 2-0 if things keep going this way. We'll most certainly be looking at a 13-6 at this stage, and look at that from Lollipop. Stacked up towards the brackets position. Young Ninjas making their way straight out of the gate. Lined up, sprayed down, decimated by the T side. And now the buyback comes through, but this is where things need to change.
Yeah, they need to change quickly. And maybe some of the kill numbers need to change. 3 kills for Madden in 19 rounds. That is certainly something not to be proud of, that's for sure. No AWP out for either team going forward into round 20, even though there was enough money on the T side to get Spedak on the AWP. And not quite on the CT camp, though. Young Ninjas going in for a play towards a short position. And Boost coming up towards Porch. And triple play from short. But look at the banana contest. Again, Nemiga are taking banana control, and they're not even taking any damage.
The nades, however, onto the CT side are doing their own damage, man, and just tanking one straight to the face. The Young Ninjas sitting pretty here, especially on that short control. I think they went for a very similar setup here with the two players on the quad area. The contact from Alex, swing back on the second player to try and get the trade if he does go down. One man to keep his eyes on. Alex gets the kill. Nyla able to respond back and make it a 2-for-1 trade. Alex to 4. Sprays through, continuing to hold their own against the CT side as they actually suppress the T-side forces. Look at Box meanwhile. Manon heard that footstep, or did he? He thinks it's going to be a banana commitment, so this could be a backstab that works out well for Box.
Oh, it could be. And this could be timed so well. They need to deal with Manon. Smoke goes down. He does a lot of damage. There's no way he anticipates someone in the backline. This should be an easy kill, but they still commit into B.
Sapek and Speedak to fall. And those two kills on the CT side might secure themselves a chance here. Box still lurking. Manon seeing him though as the smoke starts to clear. Bit awkward timing there. I think they should have waited for Box to try and execute against them rather than trying to face together. Nemiga showing those signs of miscoordination, but it is 1 round out of the 7 that Young Ninjas have won, so will they replicate those mistakes going forward? Well, they've just made the worst of them there, so buyback coming in the AWP, the AKs. 2 rifles saved in for the Ninjas, no AWP for the CT side.
I think a little bit cocky there for Nemiga. They just needed to play passive towards the top of Banana, and that backstab should have come through with at least a kill. But the flames towards the top of Banana is actually the one to find the opening damage, the opening engagement. Sapek's been seen too. He needs to fall back. He needs to hold on to his life. He ends up fighting Jo. That's one way to get a 4v4.
I got very lucky with that one with the flashbang. Crosshair was placed perfectly so we could just pull the trigger and take the kill, but 4-on-4 gained, and the Ninja's still taking a lot of damage. Like that HE and Molotov combo down towards Banana not only took the kill on Manon, but it did as much as it did against Sapek as well. The Ninjas will be hurt because of it. Nemiga playing in towards Banana will fall back out position as they go quiet. 2-2 split from the Ninjas side, so no matter where Nemiga go, they've got to deal with the same amount of resistance. Which side do they value more, A or B? It looks to be A for the moment.
Look at the util basis. The B players have used absolutely everything, while for the A site holders, there's actually a fair bit between them. A smoke and an incendiary down for Fozzy and Alex. Util coming through. Straight commitment coming up for Nemiga towards A.
Fozzy on site, Alex back in mini pit, Molotov towards pit, broken wall. Box may catch up one player in towards the library. No, he goes down as Alex gets a kill back on MDS towards the short control. Looking for a bit more. They know the 2 players are close towards the site. And 20 seconds, they're backing off here. Is this a save call or a quick wrap towards the B site? I don't think they've got time to even go towards B. So yeah, they're holding onto their weapons. Nemiga meeting a couple of trip-ups here in the last couple of rounds.
That's not a bad shout. There's not a crazy amount of utility, or of money here, I should say, for the T side. And 2v4 with the time low, knowing how quickly the rotate came in from Library 2. Maybe if Box was able to deal with Sapek rotating in, then they probably still commit for it. But just opting to save onto those weapons. Probably be a force up for the rest of the players too. Box might be on a Galil unless someone chucks him over. What does he get? Yeah, he does get a Galil. And Nemiga, they have been at 13 for a couple of rounds, but it has been a few in a row now for Young Ninjas.
2 in a row so far. And damage has been substantial, but not too deficient, I think. Nades up, AK in for Sapek, very aggressive peek in. Not even a flashbang was thrown there. Second flash from Manon will allow Nyla to get the trade back, but still needlessly aggressive from Sapek to lose the 4 versus 4. It could have been a fight before they weren't careful. The 2 T-side players, though, peeking up and going dry, and still didn't account for Manon. They knew he was there, and he lines up 2 more. Low on kills all game so far, but that 4K gets the 9 for the Ninjas.
Yeah, look, Manon's really starting to have some impactful rounds, Jay. That was a big one right there. Unfortunate that the AWP that gets picked up, I think, by MDS was actually blocked by Lollipop 21K in front of him. Nemiga getting a bit complacent. I mean, find that opening kill, got traded back to a 4v4, and then they just decide to rush out towards a B site. A little bit spread between one another. And now going to be on an eco. Young Ninjas, well, they're on a bit of a comeback here, Jay. Ooh.
Nemiga suffering now as a result of it. Damage being done. HE's against most of the players there towards the banana control. Well, the smoke's down to try to block them off here, but it looks like Nemiga just going to go straight in for the Visa XE. Deagle of box lands that first, not that second. Sapek can trade at the Molotov will stop them from making their way further forward. So getting rid of weapons, got many more players to deal with. The spray is awkward and it does get traded at the end. No smoke to cross. Incendiary goes down instead. MDS though going to catch off Nilo in the bag lines, and that siphons them off. One player per site. Ninja spread real thin.
This could be twice now that Nemiga win an eco round. Alex is completely alone over towards A. He should start to hear some of these footsteps. Cool in the rotation. Finds that first kill, the second, and now it's down to a 1 versus 1. But look at the time Lollipop 21K has to play with. Fozzy still on rotation out from Speedway.
He's not going to waste any of that time either. Just go straight in for the plant, get out towards the apartments. And Fozzy getting no info on it. It's a default plant, so Lollipop can reposition back towards the short control. We can also play out of the apartment's entrance. He's expecting Fozzy to aggress him. He's got an incendiary and a flash. Did anyone drop a smoke for the CT side? And Incendiary might force him back over towards the boiler position though. Checking out position, he can go for the full 5 seconds here. I don't know if Lollipop can get to him in time. Stick in the bomb, stick in the bomb. Lollipop's got a swing. He makes noise and Fozzy gets the kill. But has Lollipop stalled for enough time? I don't think so. It's the Ninjas with a 10th.
Oh, that's well played. You could not have played that any better from Fozzy. Reading that he's pretty much cleared out most of the site. He's got into Graveyard. He puts the molly down towards the apartments. And Lollipop 21K, he can't force forward over that molly. Has to come out for the short control. Not sure if he's sticking the bomb or not. Gets off the bomb, adjusts to the kill to get back on it. And yeah, maybe it was an eco, but Nemiga, they had a really solid chance of winning out. And you've got to give credit over to Alex. That was a 3v2, and he held wonders at that A side.
And look at the utility damage being done to Nemiga. Took about 4 rounds to go. They were putting HEs and Molotovs down to the top banana position that was doing damage to the CT side, about as much as they're taking now. The Ninjas have found a rhythm. Nemiga have lost theirs. The AWP and man, and seeing that jump face, Joe's hoping to try and isolate a kill, and the shoulder bait eventually forces out the AWP shot, but it doesn't allow a commitment just yet from Nemiga. They're thinking of backing up.
It's the first time we've actually seen a double AWP set up in this first map, and even in the best of 1 coming out for the Young Ninjas, they never had Manon on it. Now, we've certainly seen in some of his previous teams, Jay, that he is a pretty capable AWPer and certainly a bit of a hybrid that does pick up the AWP here and there. And playing out towards a B site, wasn't quite able to find anything, getting baited off angle. Util into brackets. Only 2 players here. They've rotated the 3rd player over to B.
M4's AWP in for Fozzy. He misses his shot and they can punish it for Nemiga. Is that the way into the site? Got player at pit, player at site. They haven't checked pit though. They think it's all clear. Alex gets 1 kill, continuing to burst through. Finally, Lollipop makes his way into the backline. But then line up, the spray comes through for Nilo. Gets it to a 2 versus 2. And the plant can come through. It will be a retake for the Ninjas, but he's brought a serious chance for Manon and Sapek.
AWP firing away, trying to see if he can get a bullet down towards that mini-pit position. Manon and Sapek trying to see if they can clutch a big swing out from Jay on the site, and now it's just down to 1. Lollipop swings out for the pit angle, and a 14th goes up on the board for Nemiga. The money for Young Ninjas, it's not looking good at all. They are able to invest into an AWP, get that M4 forward, but Alex and Madden are going to be on Deagles and an MP9 to follow. That comes at the cost of investing into a double AWP setup, Jay.
Yeah, heavy buyback from the Ninjas. Nemiga with a Mac 10 still on MDS, which could actually work well for them because they've got Lucky Ahead, Kevlar on 3 players for the CT side. Fozzy's one of them, and he gets that opening kill though. Speed active 4. Alex gets boxed with the Deagle. Okay. This might still work out for the CT side. Manon does drop in towards the apartments. That's a way in. Hearing information on the players here still towards the apps control. Lollipop was that smoke up and he's going to wait for his teammates to make their way in for the short split. Still got Nilo here. Molotov in, going to swing back. Is Lollipop even going to be aware already of the potential? No, he's not. Turns away, expecting a flash. AWP close to sight. MDS does get the trade.
Ooh.
Player at pit falls to Joe. 2v2 retake now.
They've brought this back on the T side, and that molly, that's going to give away the position now from Sapek. And trying to burst away, trying to pull some distractions as there's a bit of a backstab coming in from the apartments by the looks of it from Alex. MDS and JO, AWP in the post plant 2 for the T side.
It's got to be the main man of this retake here. Flashing, Sapek in, swing out the SMG, trying to go for it. MDS takes him down. AWP back of sight, isolated, tap through, forcing Joe off angle, doing some damage, but can't quite seem to find the kill. Is he ready for the player up to the left-hand corner? Spray through, catches MDS, does some damage, eventually comes up with that kill, but time's tick too far. Alex has not got a kit, and Joe's just hiding. He might go up with the bomb. The knife's out just for one extra kill for money. But it doesn't win him the round. Nemiga with 15 now on map points.
Oh, I think they've done it here, Jay. There's just no money. There's absolutely no money here for Young Ninjas. Yeah, that knife might actually allow an M4 to come forward, and it does for Alex, but what else do they have? Pistols for everybody, and Nemiga are going to realize how crushed they are. This is 2 rounds in a row in which they had some pretty big disadvantages, Jay, and they've brought it back. They are really starting to punish now. 15-10, they are 1 round away from going into their map pick 1-0 up in the series.
Yeah, force up from the Ninjas, can only afford the pistols. 1M4 for Alex to force the issue here towards the banana control. And with the way the bananas worked out for Nemiga, this could be the best way the Ninjas could try and shut them back down. The smoke's missed out though, and they charge straight forward. Take that first and that second, and that might just seal it. Manon alone with a CZ. 9 kills so far in this game, and no more than that it seems. 2 standing, the Eagles for the retake. And it looks like Nemiga are going to go 16-10 up here on the map pick of the Young Ninjas. And I can't say I'm too shocked. I would have hoped Ninjas would have won their map pick, but this team is on another level here in this tournament, so have to take it on the chin and try to figure out how this side is going to outplay them on Nuke.
Yeah, that's where really the complexions start coming forward, is once we go into Nemiga's map pick. And Nilo doing everything he can to try and bring this in his favor, but not going to happen. A 1v5 attempt. Does get away with 1 kill, but that's all that he's going to have. 16-10, what a result out for Nemiga. And look, you know, it was a bit of a challenge. It wasn't a breeze. It wasn't a walk in the park. We did see some competent rounds coming forward from the Swedes. But for Nemiga, I think that map right there really starts to prove the skill differential and experience between 2 of these teams.
Absolutely, and it is one of those things where it's like, you know, coming into this matchup, Young Ninjas were always going to have to try and get through all that, you know, and it's always going to be an impossible task. I think that honestly, given the fact of who they are and the fact that they are very new sort of entities to the scene, like they're still doing a pretty alright job in my opinion, you know, like they've actually had a decent showing for, you know, not only the best of 1, but also this map in the best of 3. If they can get a good showing on Nuke as well, that would be positive, I think, for this team, because again, the main concern for them is not going to be about winning and losing, it's going to be about showing up and being able to try and earn your spot as the next call up to the main and IP side.
Well, look, they've only played 31 maps on HLTV now so far. You've got an Nemiga side that have been playing for years and years and years. Nuke is going to be the second map of this series. Nemiga's map pick. Don't go anywhere. We'll have more Counter-Strike action just after this short break.
shot. Nice. Fist bumps go to the teammates.
I wanna hear your go, go, go. I wanna see you ballin' fast. Win the round. Win the game.
Pretty much. They play, you win.
Well, a halfway decent effort there from the young ninjas, but not enough to take their map pick of Inferno. It's Nemiga walking away with a 16-10 result on the first map of the best of 3 series. And now the 2-0 is looking a lot more likely at this stage. We had a bit of faith in the young ninjas. We thought maybe this map pick was a good idea considering how they just beat Saw, but unfortunately, Nemiga coming in on better form today, and they have taken what probably might be the most important map in this series for the Swedes.
Yeah, look, you often find that maybe with the tier 2 teams, if they're on a similar skill set and one team wins out their opposition's map pick to start off a series, you're kind of thinking, okay, there's a chance that we could still go to 3, but look at this one in particular, and I just don't see it. You know, that was the chance right there for the young ninjas to be able to get control of the series, and I mean, the odds just already tell a pretty big picture. We haven't even started on Nuke. 1.2 up for Nemiga over at Paramatch, but look, they looked very decent out on Inferno. Yeah, we saw a couple of rounds being a challenge, and we saw young ninjas holding contention, especially knowing that they don't have an in-game leader and they've got a stand-in, but I think things get tougher from here, Jay.
Yeah, indeed they do. And just taking a look at Nuke individually, you know, obviously this is a map that we talked about earlier on, you know, how it's been one of those maps that has been lost to the likes of, you know, Sprout and the North, rest in peace. You know, like those guys, you know, are teams that, you know, are the teams that Nemiga are losing to on this particular map up, not the likes of Young Ninjas, whereas they've been up against Kova and SJ and Tricked, and they've lost against some of those teams in that particular position. The most recent loss was a Budapest 5, 16-7, which was just like, you know, you just compare and contrast the results, you compare and contrast the you know, the teams that they're playing against, and it's like, this is a win on paper for Nemiga, no matter what you say, you know. Like, I mean, it was a great effort from Ninjas to make it as close as it was in that last map, but unfortunately I just don't think that we're going to see a similar sort of result here on this one.
What it comes down to is normally, like, the teams ranked on HLTV from about 30 to 100 is normally kind of what we call our tier 2, roughly, right? And there are so many teams in tier 2 that put up decent results, and what it comes to the final sort of margin is that Young Ninjas have only just felt like they're getting some taste of tier 2 Counter-Strike, Jay. Not many officials have been played, not many best of 3s being converted into victories, and down a map in the series already, going over to Nuke, Nemiga can take this into, if they can strike right here on Nuke.
That's pistol round out. Julius for Sapek. And Nilo taking damage early on for Nemiga on the T-side start. Manon will get the opening kill as they try and advance further forward. Box will trade out Manon as they make their way out towards the ramp from 3 players dropping. Fozzie's seen them all. Player towards the back corner, not protecting it, but they do manage to deal with it regardless. Damage done towards Lollipop. The 3 points of help, but the bomb plant is secured. 4 versus 3 favor to Nemiga. And now the retake for the Ninjas.
Nice and aggressive, fast out from ramp, the early one-on-one trade, and then they even clothesline Alex towards that lower bomb site. 2 players coming in from ramp on the retake from Young Ninjas. Fozzie out from Secret. Nemiga set themselves up quite nicely, but they do have Lollipop 21k down quite low.
There's MDS with a kill on Sapek. USP moving up as Nilo looks onto the back lines. The USP closing from the back lines here. There might get some exit frags because there doesn't look like the retakes on the table here for the Ninja side. MDS fighting against Nilo, and 2 bullets left in the magazine. Does manage to get a kill away on MDS. But it won't mean much at this stage here in the game. Pistols going the way of Nemiga. Do lose 4 players for it, but the buyback should be good.
I wonder if we'll see a force out from Young Ninjas, because a couple of times they have just decided to go for like the harsh eco rather than forcing after losing pistol. A couple of players with Kevlar that obviously saved him from that last round. And yeah, they are going to go for the force. We see a scout coming through. A couple of scouts, actually. Nilo picking up one of them. Fozzie taking the secondary one. And Speedak is on a Glock. He wants to get that AWP far forward into round 3 as quickly as possible. That is a bit of a concern for me, that he's got no investment going into round 2.
Focusing on future rounds perhaps, but at this stage obviously there's going to be a kill coming in for the Nemiga side. Much better firepower. CZ for Manon trying to sneak his way in. He's had a couple of okay pistol plays with that CZ in the last map, but here in this one, just getting away with that one frag on the anti-eco and the safe call called in for Young Ninjas, just keeping the rifles in check. The 2 scouts, the Kevlar, the helmet. 2-0 for the Nemiga side as they look to continue the domination here on the T-side half.
I wonder whether Speedak will go for the AWP. He's just got enough for it. Needs to make sure that he's holding on to that Kevlar, though. And, well, considering Young Ninjas aren't looking to go in for the retake, it doesn't look like anyone else is going to be falling, unless maybe they go hunting. A 2-0 start on the T side. And we saw Nemiga actually having a pretty rock-solid T side against the TPT side. Was it 10-5 half? Maybe see if they can replicate those kind of results going forward into this map.
Good 2-0 to open things up for Nemiga. Saw them have a pretty capable T-side half in the first map of the day, also the second map of the day, when they were taking on their best of 1. AKs, the Galils in on 2, a Mac 10 for box. Versus just the basics coming in from the Ninjas side. Shouldn't be seeing any investment. We have Manon playing into a HE, but that's about it. 2 USPs for him and Sapek with the same weapons on the other 3. Smokes towards outside. I believe those are the diagonal ones we saw from earlier from Nemiga. Yeah, that seems to be the case. So, I think they can just maintain the outside control. Scout shots not able to connect quite as well, doing a little bit of damage to Joe, but it's Man in the first to fall and Fozzie taking a bit of damage to return.
A pretty aggressive peek trying to come through from Nilo. See if they can just get a spam attempt, see if you can get lucky with a shot out from Secret, but not quite the case. The T's not being silent about it at all, dropping into lower very, very quickly, and certainly the Vents player hearing a lot of this information. P250 doesn't quite find anything. This eco is getting ripped apart so far from the CTs.
Nice and quick and efficient for Nemiga, and again B site access. 2 players coming in from the ramp control, sprayed up by the AK that was out there. Nilo and Fozzie is forced out, taking damage, further being hunted. Mac 10 with a nice $600 kill. And the other CTs just left to fall back all the same here. Alex alone, 1 versus 4. Joe will deal with him. There you go, 3-0 for Nemiga. Seeming like a very simple affair from this T side to start things off, but this is where the rifles can come out for the Young Ninja side. And a moment to update ourselves on the power match odds, which, I mean, it's only 1.5 higher than the 7-1 that we had a little bit earlier on today, but still decimating onto power match. Remember, you can get your deposit by clicking on the banner below, up to 100% bonus here for some regions in the world. So definitely make sure you get your details and find out whether you can claim it, take advantage of that. Nemiga in towards inside, towards lobby, towards a very quick A here, it seems.
Yeah, not a lot of utility here, but it's pretty quick and aggressive. The flash is over the top. There are so many players blind, and look how quickly the entries come through. Box and Lollipop just able to find the opening couple of kills. This should be an instant save. There should be no way in which Young Ninjas even think about trying to retake this bomb site. Nemiga, what a way to start off in the rifle round, and even Alex gets caught off.
Yeah, this is absolute decimation.
Oh, they're hunting as well.
Yeah, they're ripping them apart. And how quick and efficient that hit towards the A site came in. Like, you know, just weigh that up and how well Nemiga have just destroyed the Young Ninjas. Flash over, AWP looking in. Does connect on towards Lollipop at least. Other smokes. Any more kills? Flash over, catching him one blind. And he's as good as dead. Box to close it out. Free AWP if you'd like it. And the 4-0 for Nemiga. Max loss bonus for the Young Ninjas. No buy can come through here. I still want to force it, but yeah, this is looking even better than the first map from Nemiga.
Honestly, it's nice to see the Nemiga stickers. First time with the new RMR stickers coming through, Jay, that they've actually had stickers in the game. I know that Jo was quite chuffed about that on Twitter. I think like 20 seconds after the stickers got announced, he put them all on his weapons. But yeah, look for Nemiga making strides over the last 12 months and looking to make strides against the Young Ninjas squad. A 4-0 up on the T side, another eco to follow through. A lot of people going out from Squeak Door. The CZ does find 1 kill, so decent amount of damage is done so far to this T side.
Oh, decent eagle back from Fozzy though, dealt with by MDS, still a player on the site itself. He lines up a collat with the Deagle, and that might turn things around. AK picked up, looking back towards Hut, looking out for Box, but Box shuts out a 3K, and that almost got together for the Young Ninjas. Imagine if Nilo's collateral Deagle had won them the round.
Yeah, like that was some missed shots out from the Deagles, but there was so much damage that came out that once the connection came through on the lineup, 2 kills went his way. Unfortunately, not quite the clutch. And Fozzy investing into the AWP. Young Ninjas need to just get a bit of breath here. See if they can make their way back into at least a round. Default Molly coming through from Speedak to try and see if they can force the CTs out into the open and the upper bomb side.
Just taking minimal damage as the vent dive does come through here. The default's working well enough for Nemiga to get the map control. Trying to fight against his first player out of the gate. Molotov to the right-hand side. May force it to peek in left, but it's Speedak to get the kill towards outside, upstairs on the silo boost. And a 5-on-4 gained for the T side. Maybe a bit more, yeah. Sapek dealt with by Speedak next, and the CT is forced to fall away. One player is creeping up towards the outside, aggressive. But from here, they're just going to try and hold on to these weapons for the CT camp. Again, another safe call being forced out. Look at Speedak, just popping kills left, right, and center. 3 for him in this round. And, well, no chance for the Ninjas here.
Speedak might even be on for a 4K. Ooh, got close to actually the adjustment. You know, that was his, like, first kills of the entire map. He was 0 kills up until round 6. And then the one time he pops off is the round that pretty much he just takes in his own. Young Ninjas struggling. And look, it's expected, maybe not massively, but at least slightly, that they're going to struggle on this map. You know, it's not their map in the series. Yeah, potentially it's not Nemiga's strongest map in the map pool, but still, like, this is just domination. This must be quite the difficult affairs coming through from Young Ninjas. Look, they're taking a tactical to talk things over. They can't even buy here. They're going to have to eco around the M4 from Nilo, but I just don't know. It's early to call it, but it's looking like this map is already done, and we're only 6 rounds in.
Yeah, I mean, you can't help but feel that sentiment. I don't know. Not looking good, to say the least. Young Ninja's going to have a serious turnaround. And this is their CT half as well, by the way, which is usually expected to be the one that wins. Even though it is a T-side meta, this map is still pretty CT-based. So seeing them not get off on a decent start, seeing them not get off on anything at this stage is just concerning for them. Make their way downstairs and towards the secret control for the Nemiga's aiming side. They've already done damage to Man and all on the start. And just these Deagles set in on a half-buy round for the Ninjas side. I mean, they could do some damage. And indeed, Sapek will get Lollipop, but now it'll be left to Alex to do the brunt of the defensive work here on the B-side play. Can recover an AK, at least for Sapek, but everything else is going to rest on this one individual as soon as he gets overwhelmed. Does get away with a kill, so that may set up a 4 versus 3 retake.
I might as well go for this. They picked up an 8K, and now they're doing even more. It's down to just Box and MDS in the 2v4, but no one's checking the angle out from double door. Box finds 2 kills, and now MDS is left to clutch.
AK got to keep his eyes on both entryways. They're both opened up as well, so they could sneak their way into the site, and he'd have no idea. They're both going to come from double doors, though. It's all a case of timing. Sees that first spray through, turns back around, almost gets the spray to Fozzy, but Fozzy will win the fight, and there you go. Half by Deagles work better than rifles. Young Ninjas get their first on the CT board.
Well, not bad at all. What an achievement there for Young Ninjas on the eco to get their first round up. Certainly. Make sure that, check out Hellcase. It's a place for well-made cases and a lot of new content every month, so check them out. And use those couple of codes up on the screen to get a little bit of extra money in your pocket and a 15% refill bonus. I get the opportunity of having some really nice-looking skins, because I tell you what, Jay, like, there's a lot of skins in Counter-Strike. A lot of different ones, you know, some good ones, maybe not so much. But yeah, there are some nice-looking skins out there.
Ooh, drop in for Sapek, kill on Lollipop. Opening things up for Nemiga as Young Ninjas tried something a bit different when trying to regress, and they paid the price for it, unfortunately. Speedak will take some damage on towards the ramp campaign, and it does force Alex to go passive into the B bomb site. Got a teammate also in Man and sneaking up towards Secret, so there could be some potential for two players to defend the site itself, but they've got to rely heavily on Alex doing the most of the heavy lifting initially here because they're closing in on him. The sprays through, blind MDS does support the likes of Box, get the kill, 5-on-3 with a bomb plant to come through.
Oh, and even if they save, Jayo's ready for them. Ooh, hang on a minute though. Maybe the save's off the table here. A couple of kills come in from Madden, and Young Ninjas probably think, right, this is our chance. But Jayo is striking, gets that first pick and the second. They've got to save now. Madden might even have to try and go for this, considering that he now knows there's only one player at the lower bomb site.
He's gotten 3 kills, sees MDS though, and unfortunately the door opening just blocks off the visual. Couldn't get the spray together, so that's a 7th for Nemiga. For Brazil for the Belarusian core.
Poor. Tread lightly, Jay. At least there's no Brazilian team here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like the closest you've got is Saw, so I'll be fine, I think.
He thinks.
XM on Sapek and Nilo, AWP for Fozzy. Sprays up already against the AWP, forcing him back away from position, so he's the hell out of dodge, unfortunately. Mannon's got to be taking the brunt of the outside control, which is where Nemiga could strike from here.
I really haven't seen a lot of outside presence from the team of Nemiga. We've seen a couple of times that Jayo's like lurked outside towards Garage or T-Red or even pushing down into Secret, but for the most part, it seems like it's more solo plays. AWP's already been seen to the Heaven play, and Lollipop might just get the best timing in the world. There's already a play towards Heaven, and the cities might not even know about this.
Zapek hoping to catch someone off of the roof, but they're all extended to the T half of the map. And Secret and Garage and Lockers, when Nemiga are playing from, Zapek going to have to do a quick 180 and try and deal with the oncoming T-side force. Smoke down at main, Molotovs onto the site, out from the Heaven players, and now they realize what's going on. Manon on rotation. 45 seconds left here. Speedak's going to reload, and the 2 players up from Heaven are going to try and isolate picks. Try to see if they can find anything from the CT forces, but it's literally like they've traded places here. And Nemiga are taking the CT positions, and the Young Ninjas have taken T-side positions. So flash into the site. It will be retake coming in from lobby and vents, and the plant can be secured for the most part.
That was looking like a moment that it could have just been a 5-on-5 post plant, but Box and Lollipop find a couple of kills. Now it's just down to Fozzy. How did all of these kills start to go the other way just so damn quickly? And he's even tried to go in for the clutch. I don't know about this one, Jay. I'd love to see this AWP save in. Speedak aggressing. They know the AWP's here. They're baiting him out. They could just try and hunt him down, make sure that AWP has no chance of being saved. Nemiga looking to get their 8th round. Good shot does come out from Fozzy. Can he hold on to it? Oh, he might be able to, actually.
I mean, given the fact he just got shut out of the hot position, it makes a lot of sense for him just to go back and save it. So that's 8 to the board of Nemiga. And a pretty decent amount of damage considering, you know, what they're actually able to work with here for the Ninjas side. It was still a force buy, so that's going to mean the money's not there for them. But even so, the positioning was so awkward. And what's even more awkward is the odds so one-sided that Paramatch aren't even going to show us it. And click on the banner below to get your bonus for the first deposit. Only at paramatch.com. Deagle's out. Ninjas. Not really a lot of firepower to deal with Nemiga here.
Oh, there is a bit of an aggressive player, at least outside from Fozzy, trying to see if he can use that AWP to some success. Does get a tag out. There's already a player towards the right-hand side. What a flick coming out for the AWP. Even watching that in slow motion, that looks lightning fast.
That was brilliant. That was actually brilliant. I mean, that could have gone very wrong, but that adjustment was pretty spectacular, I want to say. And as well as that, his support with the tag damage being done and everything, like that's done a mountain of damage to the Nemiga side. We've got Joe on 20 HP, Lollipop's on 1 HP. And now MDS and Speedak got to do the heavy lifting, and they're peeking together as the entry frags. The AWP trying to get an entry out here towards the ramp and the hell position. As Nilo holds back here towards the hot position, hoping that someone makes their way in from lobby. But for the most part, it is going to be a ramp spread and down towards the B site where Alex is lying in wait.
You say that, but they might go hell to upper now that Lollipop has got control of this lobby position. And yeah, that looks like it's going to be the play. Nemiga needs to be wary, especially with these players of low HP. If they can get a couple of mollies down towards the site, that would be great dealing with the players towards back default.
And then, is he ready for heaven? Yes, he is. Watching and waiting. Can he adjust against MDS?
Ooh.
No, the spray is awkward, and MDS comes up with those 2 kills nice and easy. And Nilo, well, he might not be ready for this lobby player right here. This could actually be a very awkward set of a knife kill, perhaps. Siege Joe takes him down. Speedak can find the trade, actually, so I'm not even going to give the opportunity to the lobby player. So Alex left alone, grabbing that orb that was dropped earlier on. And keeping it in play for the CT side, or at least he'll try, but there's Lollipop to take him out, so nothing stays in for the CT side. And Nemiga continue the hot streak, 9-1 to the T side board. And the Ninjas, I mean, well, you said 6-0 was close to map end already, and it's like, well, I mean, at this stage, where do you go from them if you're the Swedes?
Yeah, look, I think this is the perfect opportunity to just, get experience. Probably not look at winning this map, but maybe doing something that you did in scrims that you haven't done in official. Try something a little bit unique. Try something a little bit more aggressive. Smokes towards outside, and I mean, for Nemiga, their opportunities here are endless. They can go in towards Secret, down towards a lower bomb site, start to take some control towards Garage. It looks like a lot of players are crossing in towards Secret, and again, the opening man advantage is found. It almost feels like every single round Nemiga are finding the first pick untraded.
And the trades don't come in any time later either. An attempt from Sapek. That's damage towards Speedak, but Speedak comes up with the kill, and the fight from Nilo does take Lollipop, but Lollipop does so much damage towards him as well. Down into the vents, back up through the Vox, sees where Nilo's at, and eventually Nilo can get dealt with by MDS as well. Plant, easy open. Ninjas do have themselves a setup towards the vents and the lobby position, but Fozzie's got to get boxed first and foremost. Does manage to find that kill, but 3v2. Joe's also got to get caught off guard, and that's a little bit too over-aggressive from the likes of Alex. Fozzie, 1 versus 2. It's best for him to save, and I think he knows about it. No kit in play either for the retake, so even if he was able to get these kills quick, I don't think he'd have enough time.
I suppose the one positive, I don't think the players will be thinking about it right now, but maybe the coaches, is that, look, they're in the upper bracket, right? So even losing this best-of-3 series, they've still got a chance to play tomorrow to qualify for the main event. And Nemiga, though, or at least qualify for the playoffs, I should say, of the main event. And Nemiga are 6 rounds away from doing so in a pretty simple fashion. And by the looks of it, and showing their dominance over the course of the best-of-1 and in the best-of-3 on both maps. I wonder who's going to be the next challenge for them, Jay, once they do get into the playoffs, if they do so. Which we're pretty much leaning on at this point at a 10-1 scoreline, looking the way the rounds have been so far.
This is decimation by all accounts. Box, Nilo back and forth, but mostly fourth for Nemiga. Decent 3 versus 2 game with some damage being done to several T-side players. And actually, this could be recoverable for the Young Ninjas, I want to say. Taps up from Box, though, up at Heaven, gets 1 player. Manon does trade it, gets the bomb control and the rifle picked up. Joe known, spray through, doesn't catch him. The nades up, past the smoke, he'll try and hide. Box will try and hunt him down as well. Very overly aggressive, which could end up costing him his life. And Joe there for the quick trade. Keeps himself alive at 3 HP. And again, Ninja's doing a decent amount of damage, given the fact that they're, they're losing... given the fact that they haven't really got much to work with overall, So, like, it's actually not too terrible, but also not great.
Yeah, look, you look at the scoreline, if you're just joining the stream now, and you're probably thinking Nemiga have absolutely slapped Young Ninjas around, which they have in some rounds, but, like, it has been close in some of the rounds. Like, there has been, I want to say, 2 or 3 rounds so far in this first half where you've looked at it and thought, you know what, this is winnable for Young Ninjas, and it hasn't been. You know, they've lost the clutch, they've lost the advantage, whatever it may be. So it's not as if they're playing poorly, it's just that they're getting simply outclassed. Nemiga I mean, even you just look at the money that they've got on this team. I mean, Jo might even be on for 16k if he doesn't go down at the end of this round. Like, there's just so much funds.
The Ninjas have put a decent amount of heart on the Nemiga side, but not enough to deficit them significantly, and definitely not for another good buy in the next round, so. 55 seconds to the clock, and they found Nilo. Two could line up. Lollipop actually takes the, Box takes down Lollipop, I should say, actually. Assisted by the CT damage, so a 3-on-2 actually does work to the favor of the Ninjas side, and man, close out a double. Okay, a couple of missteps there from Nemiga, ultimately costing them. But the Ninjas able to set up a second round.
Not bad at all. Let's see if they can gather some momentum. Not too many rounds left at the end of this half, but there's some wiggle room for sure. If they can get to 4, I think they'll be quite satisfied with how they recovered the situation. Nemiga, though, how do they respond after just taking a lost victory? And Fozzy playing outside, very, very passive. Fake smokes outside. How many people commit to it? Looks like it's just going to be a lurk play of 1 or 2 players at most. I thought it might be a little bit quick here, at least towards this ramp control, and it looks like it is from Box, but it's a lobby crunch coming through from Hut and Squeaky.
Lollipop on Box, wasn't expecting that either, so that's 2 kills, nice and easily found. Damage being done to the AWP as well. Further flashes, going to try and strive Speedak away. At 4 HP, he's got no choice but to fall back, and that's exactly what he's going to be able to do. Man in. Seeing Jo, smoke back, he still forces the issue forward, and Alex is there for the trade. I have to say, Young Ninjas have looked a lot more coordinated in the last couple of rounds compared to the entire CT half, and I have to ask, where was that, basically, for most of this entire CT side? I realized that Nemiga was schooling you for the most part anyway, but even so, that's some... it probably could have gone a bit further if they were able to get it out earlier, you know?
Well, I mean, dominant rounds right here. 3 on the board. Hardly any damage is done. Probably more damage done from that incendiary than anything else.
Yep.
But look, do make sure to check out our great betting partners of Paramatch.com. Get your bonus on the first deposit. Click the banner below. And certainly for certain regions, you do get the 100% bonus deposit. So do make sure if you are an applicant for that region to get involved. And Nemiga, look at what that's even done to the economy. I mean, I'm a little bit surprised that we saw Jo with so much money, and now we've got a couple of Mac 10s out for the Ts.
CT trying to regress. Look at this from Jo. What? Look at this from Jo. Catching the second headshot in the midst of the smoke with an awkward spray. One player up in rafters could be a bit of a problem indeed. Does drop. Got a Zapek here to drop the bomb as well in the hot position. The trades go back and forth, but they are favorable to Nemiga. It's all Fozzy. He's found that first. He knows where the bomb is as well. Incendiary's back as they try and make their way down towards the ramp position. And that AWP's read it as well. Look at Fozzy. He's so ready for this, but they double bluff.
Yeah, I like that. That could have got awkward very quickly if they go out towards ramp, and unfortunately for Fozzy, that was just a bit of a misread. Nemiga fake that they're leaving lobby to go out to ramp. Fozzy's down towards low up. Can maybe try the wallbang to top side, but what other options does he have? He can't save. It's round 15. He's got to try and go in for this retake.
Fozzy on a quick rotation out from the secret position AWP. Ready to receive. Flashbang in from Main. Will give away his angle. No info on the player to the backside. No info to the player at the corner. He suspects that Box might be there, though. Sees the wallbang's coming in. Box is close. And that no-scope actually landed to the leg shot, but not enough to get the kill in this one. 12-3 for Nemiga to close out the T-side half. A monster T-side half as well from them. And Young Ninjas, well, I mean, they've given it their best effort, but it's not really been to standard.
Jo just didn't even give a damn in that last round. I mean, just running out Squeaky. And Nemiga have got the opportunity, this kind of dominant affair in this many rounds up, to kind of play like that, but they have been pretty how do you say it? They haven't been cocky. Like, they've actually taken this really seriously, even though it has been a really one-sided performance. I do give them credit for, because there's always an opportunity of a comeback. Fast play outside from Young Ninjas into the secret position. Unfortunately, that bomb has been seen with a large majority of players, and Nemiga know exactly what's going on, but there is a lurk play out from Squeaky.
USP of MDS looking to try and track the kill out here towards the main site. Speedak's getting a couple of kills as Young Ninjas actually do work towards the outside control. This is a very weird duel. I don't know what to say to that one. Finally, Alex takes it down. Speedak's on the retake, though. He knows where one is, but he can't get Sapek to drop. So down on the lower site, good bomb plant coming through from the Ninjas, and they get that pistol. And finally, something seeming to go right for the Swedes.
Yeah, looking pretty strong there towards that lower bomb site. Opening kills were great. And look, even though Alex doesn't do that much damage, he just wastes so much time in for that retake from the CTs. And Force Spy coming in for Nemiga, not looking to harsh eco to get the rifles forward. And no SMGs. We've seen this before from Young Ninjas. Spidak outside, sees that first player, and gives the info over to Box.
Deagle, or not doing as much damage as they'd like to here, not taking the kill. I mean, they've done quite a significant done to Sapek, but Speedak, they dropped to 5 points of health. And two players coming in from the secret corridors. Up to them to try something and get these frags back against the T-side players, the Ninja side. And there's Joe with a swing and a hit. Scout out for Speedak. Spotted. Is going to get dealt with. Joe does double up, though. Another Deagle in box is still sitting back here. Bomb is in danger as he starts to swing up. Could grab one of the rifles. Is that an AK to work with? Yes, it is. Okay. Now they've got some firepower here, and they're still playing towards outside. You're going to hear that drop in. See that one player take the execution. Not going to get a bit too greedy. 3 on 2 now, gained by Nemiga.
Yeah, he could have waited for a little bit longer there, but realizes, here's my chance right now. Oh, the SMG. Oh, surely he saw the player getting to heaven. And yeah, there it is. Fozzie falling. And now Manon 1v3. Couple of cheeky plays out from the CT side, and Young Ninjas just don't expect backstabs at all.
Absolutely not. Box is isolated so they can get that one kill and take him down. And Manon will just look to get the bomb plant here, close to the backside. Now just got to worry about the players coming in from ramp. Sees them both. Tap through. Get the kill. Can he get the last kill on MDS as well? No, he's tagged to 4 points of health. Flashbang in, continuing with the tap. Keeping him blind. He manages to clutch it just by the skin of his teeth. 1v3 for the man. And the 5th to the board of the Young Ninjas. Nice efforts there from Nemiga, though, to have done as much as they did. It was a force by round, so it's not going to lead towards a reinvestment. But even so, the money's going to be crippled for the Swedes.
Oh, it might do. I reckon Nemiga buy here, knowing that they took down 4 players from the T side. Let's see if they do. No, they don't. Okay, that's slightly surprising, knowing how Nemiga normally buy. But look, it's certainly the safer approach, and going in for an eco could still do some significant damage. That's not a bad start.
Kill on Nilo. Sapek's down to 58 HP. I mean, there's upgrade pistols across most of the board here, so even with the USP in for Speedak, they could do some damage. Take down another good kill back on them. It's a Mac 10 that they'll drop, but still, that's just going to be like Kevlar and utility that you've got to rebuy. The Young Ninjas, they just can't afford to lose that kind of cash. And fortunately for Fozzie, he's going to take down Box. Speedak will fall. Lollipop and Joe, therefore, left alone. Now just Lollipop in towards ramp as they crunch back in towards lobby. Take down every single player. And it should be a 6 for the Ninjas side. Pistol and conversions will be picked up. Do not lose more than a single player. And now within half of the Nemiga lead, can the Young Ninjas pull this back from the brink? Well, the rifles will be the ultimate test that stands in their way.
AWP being invested straight away up for Speedak. Certainly not finding the same amount of success out on Nuke that he did in the first map of Inferno. Something that we saw in him for the best of 1 as well. But it is a 12-6 scoreline. It is a 6-round lead. Hut volley coming through from Fozzie. Actually, a lot of utility coming out towards that upper bomb site, but no commitment as of yet. Aggression outside from the CTs.
Man and down a vent dive already. Is Fozzie the first to fall to box. Nades through the squeak door, trying to clear out that position. I mean, they'll know that it's completely opened up, so you put it down there, but unable to get any kills or damage with that nade. 4v4 has been gained so far. That one concerning player towards the outside. That might be a bit of a problem. Indeed, Manon will get boxed. So back to the man advantage of the Young Ninjas.
And Nemiga struggling in this opening gun round and playing towards the upper bomb site. If JO is able to peek on his teammate contact, there could be a bit of a way here to find a multi-frag. Doesn't get checked. It does. The flashbang's perfect. MDS towards the back of the site's doing damage, but no more than just that kill. Knife coming in, but doesn't really matter. 7th round up for Young Ninjas. Okay. There could be a way back in to at least make this competitive, Jay. This is 4 rounds in a row from the Young Ninjas squad.
Yeah, there's a light at the end of the tunnel for these guys. I mean, again, it would be another shock map for this team to be able to take Nemiga's map pick on Nuke, you know, one of those maps which Young Ninjas don't have a great basis on. Of course, to be able to beat out the likes of Saw earlier today. And, I mean, those 2 maps would already be impressive as it stands. The AK is outside here for Man, and the AK looking towards the garage area from the red boxes. Box has a deagle, speaking of which. It's a half-buy round from the Nemiga side. He's ready for anyone to pop outside. I think he may have caught a glimpse on Manon, but unable to strike with a kill.
And Nemiga just trying to see if they can do some decent damage and try and limit that economy from the T side. Another upper hit might just come through. No molly for the hut position just yet, so Jay is able to just try and sneak for a little bit longer. He's the only player to defend this upper bomb site, however.
On Joe. And the face in, Manning gets the kill. 5-7 comes up with that 1 frag, no more than that 1 frag. Lollipop and Speedak. Now Speedak falls, Lollipop left for the SMG. 1 versus 4. And again, good effort from the Nemiga to try to do the damage, but unfortunately it's not quite worked out for them. Let's see what Lollipop can do as well with the MP9. If he gets even a kill out of that, then he's already going to bolster his money going further forward into the rifle buy. Oh, and does catch Manon off guard, so that's a kill. And an AK save from here. He could just fall back.
Yeah, not bad, is it? 2 kills, an AK. I mean, they're going to maybe try and go hunting, see if they can make sure that AK doesn't get saved in. Yeah, a good kill coming in from Alex. An important one, too, to make sure that Nemiga don't bring anything forward. And, well, you know what? It might be an okay time to get involved at Paramatch, considering it does look like we still got a bit of a game on our hands here on Nuke. And click the banner below to get all the information on how to get involved. I'd like to see a bit of a tactical, in all honesty, Jay, from Nemiga. It's better to have it now than when it's too late.
Yeah, absolutely. Seeing them force out Nemiga. Yet to win a round on the CT side. Now they're going to try something they can do that just right here. NDS with 2 frags on the spray. Alex can find the trade. Damage has been done to him, but they keep together and take down Box next up. 1 player up ahead, and Lollipop gets that kill. And Joe holding close here against the AWP with the pistol out. Sprays through on the M4A1S, desperate to get a kill, desperate to get a headshot. Bozzy can isolate it. Speed that goes down. Got Lollipop still in the rafters, makes it a 3K and a clutch to hold together for Nemiga. Finally, they get themselves started in the second half.
Yeah, but what is going to be the follow-up? Because there's like no money here for Nemiga. So many players went down. They'll be able to get a buyback, but there's going to be a FAMAS out for JO, an MP9 for MDS, and 2 kits on the playing field. In saying that, though, there is at least a bit of a counter-argument with Nilo's buy of just a deagle. And played towards outside by the looks of things for the T side. And, well, for Nemiga, it might not have been the cleanest of rounds, Jay, but at least they get things started. Was that just a straight wallbang? I don't know where that came from. I have to check that lineup, because, like, he did not see it.
I think it might have been Speedak from back at the CT spawn.
Speedak?
Yeah, because he was over at the stairs area when the shot rang out. Literally, I've got the stream pulled up on the left monitor, so I just have to check the 15-second delay. Yeah, that was a bit weird. Joe, even weirder on the spot. And that weirdness may turn up to a 3K. Indeed, they all crumble. AK can get picked up. The AWP at the T side can't quite respond to it. And 2 versus 4 as eventually Joe goes down. Man and quick to fall in trade. And Fozzy to fall to Speedak as well. 14 to the board on Nemiga. The Ninjas losing control of the momentum they spent so many rounds to build up.
Yeah, and that's the tough thing, especially on Nuke, is that you've got to give yourself some breathing room. You might establish a great comeback on T side, but if you don't have enough rounds, it's just not going to happen. And Manon buying down a Deagle, same for Fozzy, and I just don't see the point at all buying in this sort of situation, even anything. I don't know why they're just not glocking out this round. They're only affecting what they can buy going into round 24. Fast play outside, try and get a bomb plan, try and see if they can hunt down some of these CT players. It's getting crazy outside, but no one does fall, and Nemiga now get to 15.
Yeah, all 5 alive as well for the CT side. They found their form again, and they look to use it to close down the Ninjas here in round 24, up to map and match point 7 map and match points for Nemiga. Young Ninja's got to grind all the way back into OT. There's so many rounds to do it. The AWP's in, of course, for Speedak. No such gun will be available for the Ninja side. Just straight AKs. Try and play real aggressive in towards that lobby and that ramp control. And Fozzy is just the first to fall. Manon spotted the end of the smoke for Box. He takes that kill. And it's just spelling every letter to the end. Nilo does find Lollipop the trade and stall for time, but to swing out even further against Speedak will be damn near suicidal. Is he going to get detected? Is he going to get shut down? His teammates making his way downstairs to the B site meanwhile. Swing, hit, kill, 2v4.
Oh, that's so disciplined for Speedak to hold that angle for so long. And like you said, 2 players left on this T side. Can they find something on the gap of this window? They do find one onto Jo. That's at least an opening.
Box has got a fall next, though. If they can get him, they can set up a 2v2 in a very winnable situation for the Ninjas. They know that he's here in the observation window. Are they going to be ready for it, though? Box at a very off angle. And Spack checks it. Plant now secured, 2v2. Nemiga up for the retake. This was a 4v2 a moment ago, and Speedak might not be ready for the next player. No, he is. Converts the spray, 17 HP, and Alex going to re-aggress from the same angle, suspecting both players to be coming in from the same position. Takes that 1 kill, needs to turn back to the second, but NDS lines up the spray, turns it into a 16th for Nemiga. And a 2-0 victory that gets them into the playoffs. The Ninjas have to play tomorrow in the elimination and decider matches. But for Nemiga, it's a huge 2-0. When we honestly expected that their rivals in Saw were going to take it as well. They looked real good today. And they looked like a team that was really on form and really sort of prepared to take today's challenge.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good sight to see what Nemiga are like against some of the stronger teams in the playoffs, but they looked really good today. They looked on point. Didn't think there were many sloppy mistakes. I thought Speedak's AWP, he just was so fundamental. Maybe not so much in putting up massive numbers, but just being consistent. And look, for young ninjas, I was actually impressed. This is the first time we've had the chance of casting them. I know that I've watched a couple of maps from them over the last couple of weeks or so, but they actually looked really good today. And, you know, maybe this is the era of like the young Swedes, right? We saw Giacchino going over to Fnatic. We're seeing ZTR now moving over as a trial up for the NIP side. Heath got picked up by Dignitas. You know, these like no-name Swedes that seem to be getting progressions into tier 1. And I really want to see what the development is like from this young ninja squad, because there's some talents on there.
Well, you consider the maps that they have, you know, 16-10 over on Inferno against the likes of Nemiga, obviously the overtime victory against Saw. Like, that's pretty decent results. You know? Like, they're not, you know, like consistent and amazing. You know, if they were able to replicate those over and over again, then yeah, this would be a top tier 2 team. But it is one of those things. It's like, you know, we were expecting them to get absolutely decimated today because they lost ZTR. You know, we thought that's it. You know, this is one of the key elements of this team going out, getting the graduation. So for them to go as far as they have, I think is respectable, and they'll get that second chance tomorrow. Again, they will have to play in the decider match in the best of 3. Saw are taking on TPT to kick things off in tomorrow's action in the elimination stage. And I have to say, I was not expecting Saw to be at that stage in the bracket, you know?
Yeah, that's a big surprise. And for TPT, they could be rubbing their hands here saying, you know what, we probably weren't a favorite to do much in this bracket, but if we could take out Saw, God, everyone's going to be chuffed about that one. So, look, that could be a very interesting best of 1 to start off from midday CET tomorrow, Jay. 2 best of 3s, plenty of action, hopefully some surprises, and hopefully some good CS.
I think we'll see some good CS today, indeed. Group A set to open and close in 2 days, and we decide the first 2 teams through to the playoffs of the European Development Championship. For now, though, congratulations to Nemiga for managing to make it happen because, I mean, again, you know, I had my doubts about whether they'd be able to do this, but very clearly stepping down from that higher tier division has worked out well for them here in the European Development Championship. That's all we've got time for you today, however. Again, as you mentioned, 12 noon CET is when the best of threes kick off in the lower portion of the group stage bracket, so make sure you're tuning in here at twitch.tv/Eden Esports. We're going to talk you through all the action once again, and who are we? Well, I'm the Eternal J. The co-commentator has been Tweg, and once again, thank you very much for watching and for listening on behalf of all the production staff and admins here at Eden and Fantasy Expo. We'll see you back here tomorrow for even more of Group A of the EDC.